The Majestic Mystery of Margaret of Austria, Queen of Spain. This captivating portrait of Margaret of Austria, 1584–1611, Queen of Spain, was created by an anonymous artist around c. 1600. It shows a woman who was not only a royal consort but also a key player in the political and religious affairs of her time. Margaret was the daughter of Charles II, 1540–1590, Archduke of Austria-Styria, and the younger sister of Ferdinand II, 1578–1637, who became the Holy Roman Emperor. She married King Philip III, 1578–1621, of Spain in 1599, when she was only 15 years old. The marriage was part of a double alliance between the Habsburgs and the Spanish, who were also related by blood. Margaret's brother Albert, 1559–1621, married Philip's sister Isabella Clara Eugenia, 1566–1633, and they became the rulers of the Spanish Netherlands. Margaret and Philip had a happy and fruitful marriage, producing 8 children, including the future King Philip IV. Margaret was a devout Catholic and a loyal supporter of her husband and brother, who were both involved in the 30 Years' War against the Protestant forces. She also influenced the cultural and artistic life of the Spanish court, patronizing painters, musicians, and writers. She died in 1611, at the age of 26, after a difficult childbirth. The portrait presents Margaret as a dignified and elegant queen, wearing a lavish dress and jewels that reflect her status and wealth. The costume is similar to that worn by Philip in his portraits, suggesting a harmonious and united couple. The headdress, adorned with pearls and red feathers, is a symbol of her Burgundian and Austrian heritage. The background is dark, highlighting the luminosity of her face and hands. However, the portrait also poses a puzzle, as it does not show the distinctive Habsburg feature of a protruding lower jaw, which was common among Margaret's relatives and descendants. This could be due to the artist's lack of skill or intention to flatter the sitter, or it could indicate that the portrait is not a faithful likeness of Margaret. There is evidence that the portrait is based on an earlier engraving by Antonius Wierix II, 1555–1559–1604, which was made before Margaret arrived in Spain and may have been derived from a miniature or a second-hand description. The portrait also differs from the ones made by Juan Pantoja de la Cruz, 1554–1608, the official court painter of Philip III, who depicted Margaret with a more realistic and prominent jawline. Pantoja's portraits of Philip, on the other hand, are more similar to the Rijksmuseum portrait of the king, which is probably a copy or a variation of his original work in the Palazzo Real, Madrid. The Rijksmuseum portraits of Margaret and Philip are therefore not a matching pair, but rather a composite of different sources and styles. They reveal the complexity and diversity of the artistic production and representation of the Spanish monarchy in the early 17th century. They also invite us to wonder about the true appearance and personality of Margaret, a queen who left a lasting mark on the history and culture of Spain.